The breakup helped me restore the relationship and feel like a man again. There are stories with good endings that I can be endlessly proud of. You're on a channel dedicated to breakups and restoring relationships, and today I'll tell a wonderful story that wrapped up just last week. To save your time, I'll give some background about the person who came to me with his story. The man's name is Sam. He's 33, divorced his wife in order to build happiness with another woman. After a year of dating, the woman left. Below is a selection of the most interesting points. Irene wasn't in a relationship at the time. What hooked me was that time spent with her was always something unusual. Like a kid, I was happy every day and couldn't believe I could be that happy. In my marriage, I hadn't felt anything like that for about 5 years. See what I often talk about in my videos? The entry conditions into the relationship were different. The man didn't feel from his wife what he felt from this woman. And the woman? Nothing is said about her here. She wasn't in a relationship, and essentially her whole life could have revolved around fun. She felt good with Sam, and so the relationship took off. For him, it was happiness, against the backdrop of a marital crisis. For her, it was simply good. After 3 months, the first warning signs started. The girlfriend constantly went dancing at clubs with her female friends and friends. That was strange to me, since my wife never allowed herself that. I told her, and she said she doesn't allow herself anything when she's in a relationship, and that I should stop being jealous of her friends. Even after a short time, you can see the initial positions of the girlfriend and the man at entry. The man becomes insufficiently convenient because he has his own opinion. The girlfriend says bluntly, "Man, I'm not giving this up." The man interprets it as, "I love you. Please let me have some fun now and then. I'm really reasonable, and I don't need anyone." Illusions begin to appear. It would have been good to understand. My significance is quite low. She sees I don't like it, but she doesn't want to accept it. A serious fight happened when she came back from a club again, telling me how men were buying her and her girlfriend cocktails, and how each of them got into a guy's car and drove around the city. I couldn't take it and said everything I thought. On that basis, we broke up for 2 weeks. The girlfriend said she wouldn't tolerate a relationship where she's constantly suspected. 2 weeks later, I couldn't stand it and invited her to watch planes. She was cheerful, as if nothing had happened. She was very happy to see me. 2 points here that I've described many times in past videos. The man isn't behaving correctly. He's initially not okay with this, and he's very not okay with it. He endures and bottles it up. If you bottle it up, be sure it'll burst. When it bursts, your significance drops immediately. It was necessary not to grow illusions and not to tolerate it, thinking it would change. While your significance isn't high, you need to distance yourself, without offense and fights. Later, it becomes much harder. Second point, the man endured 2 weeks, and at the meeting, he sees how happy she is to see him. Yes, she is, because at a distance, her strong position decreased. That's the advantage of distance. But look at the illusions around the man. He barely survived 2 weeks, while for her, everything remained steadily good and fun. What's her sense of his significance? Fast forward. Fast forwarding the story. The fights continued, and now with each argument, the girlfriend threatened to leave. That happens because, after seeing the man 2 weeks later, she realized he can't live without her. So, to achieve her own comfort, she takes the toy from the child. Men act like this too. It's not only about women. At reconciliations, the man got a dose of self-respect from the woman. "I'm so glad we made up. I do love you." And then he began to tie his masculinity to the presence of this woman. What's her significance to him now? With this behavior, the man was inflating the woman's position. And since significance is a set of scales with two pans, he was losing his. In the end, the girlfriend was seen with another man, and when questioned, she simply said she was leaving. About a month after that, Sam and I met. Point A. The man tried to make peace, and there were even two attempts. On the first, the girlfriend said she was glad to see him, but wouldn't reconcile. On the second, she already felt sick of Sam. And by the way, he's a normal man. What happened next? We discussed the situation and Sam stopped imposing himself. At first, I received messages from him every day when he felt like he was about to break, and he wanted to sail full speed ahead, roughly twice a week. In parallel with the breakup, he started dedicating time to work. Sports, by the way, weren't in his life and didn't appear. Thankfully, his metabolism is good. 3 months passed, and in that time, he grew a lot at work. The first month was hard, so he wanted to snap. Later, a habit formed, and I got fewer messages from Sam. Irene sent me a link yesterday to an event in our city with a question mark. I didn't reply, and today she wrote, "Hello." I didn't reply. That was a month after I'd received the previous message from Sam. We talked, and he said that after that message, it got easier for him. That's the very moment when a person is not full anymore, not hungry yet, but starts looking at the food that's at a distance. The messages continued, and when the girlfriend reached the anger phase, Sam simply wrote, "You know, I don't care, even if she gets so offended she never writes again." This is the moment I often describe. With correct behavior, your significance toward the person evaporates, while theirs toward you appears. Did Sam think that if he let her go, she'd never show up again? Of course he did. Did she show up? She did. But of course she showed up, because the action needed to be completed, and the regret stage began. You know the feelings a woman experiences with an abortion? At first she doesn't need it, she's in shock. And later the child starts appearing in her dreams. And there's no escaping that. And perhaps if she had given birth, she might have hated the child her whole life, since it was done under pressure. Such stories exist. Not all, thank God. Sam met with her, and she voiced that she was ready to come back if Sam wouldn't be jealous of every lamppost. And Sam wasn't. Like most men, he was only against one thing, clubs, which he calmly said. And the girlfriend agreed. A happy ending. Do you know why the ending is happy? Because it's happy for Sam. 2 months later, the woman again asked to go dancing with a girlfriend and again came back intoxicated. Sam said he was against it, but that she could do it if she wanted. After that, he pulled back and shifted some time and energy into other areas. Then it happened a second and a third time, and Sam distanced himself more. When it happened again, Sam left the relationship because there was no significance left at all. That was the happy ending. Because he stopped suffering and humiliating himself in the relationship and gained control over his own life. He wasn't worried because his significance toward the girlfriend decreased with each such episode. And by the time of the break, it didn't matter to him anymore, as he saw that this particular girlfriend simply didn't suit him. Did the girlfriend worry? Naturally. By lowering his sense of significance toward her, he raised his significance toward himself. He didn't forbid her anything, so he didn't grow any illusions of control. Lately, she had been investing in the relationship, but she didn't hide her need for constant male attention. And if his relationship had been built on prohibitions, then of course she would eventually have started hiding it, and that story, with no good ending, would have dragged on much longer.